Okay, so before I start this video, I have to mention that everything that I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be pure speculation regarding the future of community days in Pokemon GO. I don't have any kind of insider information regarding Niantic's design choices when it comes to Pokemon GO, but I'm just starting to notice a pattern, and I really think this is possibly what it's going to be like moving forward. I know I'm going to be saying a lot of things that's going to be triggering a lot of players, considering that a lot of people have been speaking out against this when it comes to community days, but I honestly think this is the direction that Niantic is going when it comes to community days. And what exactly am I talking about? Well, I really think that from this point on, every single community day is going to feature a repeat shiny. That's right, we're no longer going to be getting new shinies through community days, and the reason why I believe this is because if you look at the past couple of community days as well as the way Niantic has been releasing shinies, I really don't think that Niantic wants to introduce shinies through community days anymore. And I'm going to be talking about all of that in today's video. Let's roll the intro and get right into it. And how's it going, everyone? It's me, it's Count here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. Today I'm going to be talking about the future of community days, at least what I think the future of community days is going to be like. When you look at the way Niantic has been handling community days and the release of shinies, I really think that there's no longer going to be any community day that will introduce a brand new shiny. If you look at the pattern that Niantic was following for the longest time when it came to community days, yeah, that pattern has been completely discarded. We no longer have the system where we bounce between starters and 10-kilometer Pokemon. We now have a pattern of just random repeat shinies, and I know a lot of players have been really angry about that, especially when it came to Electabuzz and Magmar. I know a lot of players were frustrated that some of these shinies have become suddenly devalued, and then of course with the upcoming Machop community day, a lot of players have been voicing the same frustrations, and I could totally understand that, considering that having a shiny in Pokemon GO is meant to be something really special, that you have yourself something that's completely rare. But with the way Niantic has been handling community days as of late, a lot of players are finding that some of their past shinies are starting to lose their rarity, and yeah, that's definitely going to anger a lot of players. But from the way things are looking, it really seems like Niantic is starting to stray away from introducing shinies through community days. Now, I've made videos in the past talking about how community days have kind of devalued shinies in general. Like, one of my favorite shinies ever is, of course, shiny Gyarados. And ever since they introduced Magikarp as a community day, getting a whole bunch of shiny Magikarp and ultimately a bunch of shiny Gyaradoses just doesn't feel as special as it did before. And I think a lot of players are feeling the same thing about Magmar, Electabuzz, Rhyhorn, and then of course with Machop. Machop before its upcoming community day was a very rare shiny, and people who had a shiny Machamp really coveted those Pokemon because it was so rare, but now it's looking like it's no longer going to be as special as it once was. Yeah, this is a pretty touchy subject, but I really think this is the way Niantic wants to go about it. And the reason why I say that is actually because of shiny Snivy. If you look at the original pattern for community days, Snivy would have been the next Pokemon lined up to become a community day. But instead of getting a community day, Niantic decided to release this shiny through an event in the game, which means that if you want a shiny Snivy, you can actually pick it up right now if you go out and grind out a whole bunch of Snivies in the wild. But I still think Snivy is going to be a community day Pokemon in the future, with the obvious little caveat that it's no longer going to be a new shiny. It will technically be a repeat shiny, and I really think this is what they are going to be doing for community days moving forward. I think every single Pokemon that's going to be a community day is already going to have its shiny in the game. Some of the notable examples include Dino and Gible. Even though these Pokemon have their shinies already in the game, I really think they will eventually be a community day in the future, and it's just going to continue this pattern where every community day shiny is going to be a repeat shiny. To be honest with you guys, I don't really get why Niantic is going this route, considering that when it comes to shinies, like, they are the bread and butter for a lot of the collecting aspects of this game. Like, if you think about Pokemon Go as it is, it's more of a collection-based game. It feels like you're collecting stamps. And your satisfaction with this game is going to come down to how awesome your collection is compared to other players. And of course, shinies are a big part of that. If Niantic wants to devalue shinies, then there has to be a justifiable reason for doing that. Like, for example, if they never had a Magikarp community day, then having a shiny Gyarados is definitely going to be a lot more valuable than, let's say, a shiny Dragonite. Considering that shiny Dragonite is a community day shiny, it's going to be considerably less rare than a shiny Pokemon that never got a community day. So obviously having a whole bunch of shiny Dragonite is not necessarily going to be as satisfying as having a whole bunch of, let's say, shiny Gible. But of course, if they were to have a shiny Gible community day in the future, then that's going to devalue Gible as well. So for me, something like this really doesn't make sense, but it really seems like this is the direction that Niantic wants to take. I really wonder why they are doing this. Maybe there is some aspect of shinies that we are just not seeing. Maybe the data is pointing towards how if we do have a repeat shiny as a community day, then it's going to create a lot more engagement. Who knows? I just feel like Niantic is seeing something that a lot of us players are not seeing. And it really is a shame that some of these special shinies that we've had in the past that are super rare are starting to get devalued by these community days. But who knows, maybe it's just a matter of Niantic seeing shinies as something very different than how the community sees them, and there is that disconnect there. I really don't know. But this sort of pattern is what it seems like it's going to be from now on. And I know a lot of players are going to be unhappy about it. A part of me is actually really unhappy about it, considering that I have a whole bunch of shinies that I consider some of my rarest shinies. And it really scares me to think that eventually that shiny could potentially become a community day, which would completely devalue that shiny. Now really, there's only one thing that I could think of that could actually justify why they are doing this, and it's the fact that they are running out of Pokemon that they could have as a community day. If you go back to that original pattern of having a starter and then a 10-kilometer egg Pokemon, well, if they continued on with that pattern, we would have ran out of Pokemon months ago. So yeah, maybe that is one of the reasons why they are doing this, but I really don't know. I kind of wish I did know. But yeah, unfortunately, I do not work for Niantic. I do not have any insider sources and their design team, but I just kind of put my trust in Niantic. I mean, even though they devalued some of the shinies that I had before, I still hold a lot of those shinies in high regard, mainly because of sentimental reasons. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're playing on that as opposed to actual rarity. We'll just have to see if Niantic ever communicates this. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. This is definitely something we could have a big discussion about. What are your thoughts about having only repeat shinies as community days moving forward? I know a lot of players will hate hearing something like that, but it's kind of looking like this is how it's going to be, so I would like to know your thoughts. And yeah, let's have a great discussion. If you like the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if it's your first time here. I am Count Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, and I'll catch you all later.